Hey guys, Melanie is finishing up the painting. Looking good. She's done every single thing on her own. Got the doors off and she's doing the doors, and just finishing up the second coat. I've been outside all day on the lumber mill, experimenting, learning, and making 4x4s to replace the rotted legs on that. I'll take you out and show you that right now. But I came in for a drink of water and to grab my camera. I think it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. But time is flying today. Just flying. Out here, I've been cutting and cutting and cutting. Got the original legs on this are a little bit rotted on the bottoms. No big deal. It was homemade. Not a big deal at all. But we're going to make new 4x4 supports for this, and that's what this is going to be. You can see the beginnings of a 4x4. I got 2 cuts on there already, and I'm about to make the top cuts. But what I'm going to do, I've got it set to the 4-inch thickness, but I decided I'm going to have a lot of boards out of here, so I'm going to cut this thinner and see what kind of boards I can get out of here until I hit the 4.5-inch thickness down here. So I'm going to put a pencil mark on there so I know where I want to stop. But I might be able to get a few smaller boards out of this wood. Where's the pieces off there? I shaved, you can see I took quite a chunk off that. That was one cut. Was that one cut? Yeah, it was all one cut. A deep, thick cut. And I regret having done it like that, because I'll show you, I could have got a lot of wood out of there too. Right here is the piece I cut off. Now once you cut that off, there's no real way you can put that back on and cut it again very well. I mean, not easily. And I could have got a few pieces of wood out of that for crafting or something. So I regret having cut it so thick. There's here, let me hold it here. See, it's thin in some spots, but I could have got a good 1-inch board out of there. I could have got a 1x4 out of there easy. Very easily got a 1x4 out of there by 7 feet long. So I do regret cutting it so thick, but I'm learning. You know, I'm experimenting and learning, and worst case, I've got firewood from a dead standing tree, which is what I was doing with it last year, and you know, there you have it. So I'm not sure if I could figure a way to slice that again one day, but it is what it is. Now the first cuts I did go thin. You can see really thin actually. That was the very first cuts on the one side, and I made some thin boards, and they're gonna cure, and then I'll figure out what to do with them. This was obviously a nice chunk of bark, but whatever. It's already curling. It's really curling as it dries. But anyway, there's just for wall hangings or crafting or whatever. Here I see the beak of a bird in here. So we'll figure it out. Do something with them, I'm sure. So I just took the top off that, and look at that, it's starting to take shape. Look at that. Now I'm going to make one more cut, and I'll have a 1x4 out of this in a minute here, which is real useful lumber. Now I'm getting real dimensional lumber coming out of here. Pretty cool. Well, I'm gonna make some cuts. Yep. Where's the tape? I got 1.5 inches.
So 1/4 inch for the blade?
You got 5. I got 1.5 inches. So I can go, I can cut why don't I cut it half, no, it's a 1/4 inch here. What if I go a 1/4 inch thick and see what I get, and then cut 1 incher, and then I've got a 4-incher. No, the blade, you're right, there's a blade. Cut a 1 inch, yep.
Why don't you lower the blade to where you think you want it?
It's exactly what I'm going to have. Yep, you're right. Set it to 4 inches. So I've shaved off the other piece. I hope you can hear me in the wind. And I'm marking 4 inches. I'll have a 1-inch board and then a 4x4 on this when I'm done. All looking good. Well, there is a very nice 4x4, my first ever, and a 1x4 over here laying down, and I got some other scrap pieces, odds and ends. First time ever really cutting on the Mil-Rite chainsaw mill, and I'm really liking it a lot. I'm very, very happy with this. Now if I get myself a more powerful chainsaw, that I think is a 63 or 60 something cc, and they recommend a 90 something cc, it'll cut like butter. And a new chain definitely make all the difference on this. Just sharpening it really makes a difference. It cuts good. Well, I got one load of wood out of the forest over there. Got a lot more to go. Still some more cutting to do. Chainsaw is hot. It was 96 degrees today, so it was slower going than I would have liked. I had to take a lot of breaks for the chainsaw's purpose, so I don't burn it up. I'm surprised I'm still going. I did better today. I'm starting to get used to it, I guess. With time you build up the tolerance. Even the kindling comes up here. That pile has to cure longer. This pile will be ready by this fall. That's just dead standing trees that I'm cutting. This will all be 2 rows of pine. And then I'll have the, by the time that's all burnt, I'll get into the mixed hardwood softwood pile, which is splitting and checking deeply now. So that'll cure by then, and then behind that I'll have hardwoods. I'll have another row of this, and I'll have 2 rows of hardwoods, hopefully, that's aged. So I think we'll be alright. I had to go get another wheelbarrow load. Hey guys, well, another day draws to a close. Worked a lot on the mill today, not only cutting but adjusting. I don't know if I mentioned it because it was 96 degrees to get today, and I don't think so clear in the heat, but we put new set screws in the bushings that hold the threaded rod in place because there was no set screws in the bottom one. They probably vibrated out long ago before I got the mill. And the top one kept coming loose, and then the shaft would drop a little bit, which would drop the bar and cause the cut to go off a little bit. And no matter what I tried, I kept setting those top ones and resetting them, and they would drop out again. The bushing would fall right out, and it was a nightmare to get back in. So, got new set screws, put them in all the way around, and it held up for a lot of cuts. So we're good now. So, big learning experience. Made a lot of cuts today. I don't even know how many really. I started to record at one point, but at that time I started to record, maybe I'll show you a little clip of that, I don't know. But when I started to record is when I hit a bare spot in the bark, and then when I started riding up to come back up, the sawmill started riding up, and I had to have help on the other side to hold it, to weight it down, because this side is light and it was riding up on top of the bark and I wasn't getting a bite in. And obviously people don't want to be seen on YouTube. I can respect that, so my friend helped me hold that down and finish the cut through. I'll show you the clip up to that point, or you will have seen it by now, whatever. Anyway, I'm sure you can understand some people want to remain anonymous, but we did a lot of cutting here today, and I'm happy I did have help because it's a one-man operation, but when you start getting riding up like that, it's hard. And also, to refuel, you've got to tip the whole thing over on its side to refuel the machine. And I refueled, I think I burnt 3 or 4 tanks of gas through this today. And gas and oil, the bar and chain oil. And it helps to have another hand there to help, because it's heavy. And with the rollers, once you start to tip that, and the bottom will flip right out on you. And it's better with 2 people, so that was good. We're going to rebuild all the feet on this using lumber we cut ourselves. And get this thing stable. It's a little bit wobbly because it's old. The frame is old. The table is old lumber that was cut on this mill, so which I think is really cool. So I'm loving it. I feel really good today about it. I had a good day, did a lot of cutting, ran beautifully. So I'm getting more confident now, and making a 1x4 or making a 4x4 and a bunch of odds and ends, I feel really good now. So I'm ready to start getting some trees on here and do some serious cutting and cut some dimensional lumber to start building things. So that's exciting. I've got projects and plans in my head now, things I can build for sale at the fairs and festivals around here, so it's really exciting. So another day comes to a close. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Thanks for watching. By the way, please like, subscribe, and share. Follow our daily videos as we strive to become self-sufficient and fully off the grid on our homestead. This is part of becoming self-sufficient, providing our own source of income and our own lumber for our own crafting and projects. Talk to you later.